Have you ever wondered why success, politeness, and predictability so often lose out to raw, almost primal danger? Why is it that a woman, given the choice between a stable, nice guy and a man who radiates a hidden threat, chooses the latter at a deep, instinctive level?
This is not a bug in the system. It's not a whim, and it's not bad taste.
It is the brutal truth of evolution, a truth modern society tries to mask with morality, etiquette, and political correctness. But nature doesn't read ethics textbooks.
It has its own laws, written in blood, and millions of years of struggle for survival. Today, we take off the masks. We are going to talk about why the survival instinct is genetically stronger than the desire for comfort. If you've ever felt that the world is unfair to your efforts to be correct,
if you've seen less worthy men get everything, attention, power, loyalty, it means you're playing by rules that your opponents threw in the trash long ago.
This video is not another self-help guide or a pickup tutorial. It is a forensic autopsy of human nature.
We will break down how the genetic code of power works and why the darkness attracts more than the brightest light. A fair warning, this information is intended strictly for self-defense and understanding the hidden mechanisms of reality.
We are entering territory where there is no room for being woke. If you aren't ready to part with your illusions of a kind and fluffy world, turn off this video right now.
For the rest of you, welcome to the Dark Psychology Lab.
Many of us live under the illusion that we are rational beings, guided by logic and civilization. We believe that degrees, polite manners, and a stable income are the primary currencies of the modern world. But beneath a thin layer of expensive cologne and practiced smiles hides an ancient reptilian brain, over 300 million years old. To this brain, the world is still a wild jungle, where the rules haven't changed since the Paleolithic era. And in this jungle, comfort was never a guarantee of safety. Only strength guarantees safety.
The average man makes the same critical mistake throughout his life. He strives as hard as he can to be useful, convenient, and reliable. He sincerely believes these qualities are his greatest assets. In reality, in the harsh eyes of biology, these are sure signs of a subordinate position. These are signals that you are an excellent worker bee, but not a leader. A strategist, however, understands a concept we call dark magnetism. This doesn't mean you need to become a criminal or a thug. It means possessing the inner potential for destruction, but keeping it under a leash of iron. This is the state of the sheathed sword. A woman doesn't choose a dangerous man because she dreams of suffering. Her genes are looking for someone who can stand against a hostile world when the social stage props collapse. If you are too predictable, if you are always available and always in agreement, you are not a shield. You are just a convenient piece of furniture, a decoration that people stop noticing after a week. Let's introduce a key term of our laboratory, the genetic vertical. The average man broadcasts absolute transparency. He is open, he is predictable, and his reactions can be calculated 10 moves ahead. He is like an open book with a large font, boring to read by the second page. A strategist, however, utilizes calculated opacity. This is a state where those around you can feel your potential power, but they cannot see its boundaries. Think of an iceberg.
On the surface, we see only a calm block of ice, but beneath the water lies a colossal mass, capable of crushing the steel hull of the Titanic. A dangerous man in the eyes of female instinct is not someone who screams, flails his arms, or constantly looks for a fight. Quite the opposite. It is the man whose silence weighs more than the hysterical shouts of 10 other men. His calmness is both terrifying and fascinating.
It's a biological signal. I have total control over the chaos inside me, which means I can control the chaos outside. The female instinct reads this as the highest form of reliability. If a man has tamed his own demons, he is the ultimate ally in a world full of predators. Look back at history to understand how this has worked for millennia. Imagine a prehistoric tribe. There are 2 types of men.
The first is the nice guy. He shares his food with everyone and is always ready to help fix a hut. He's the life of the party. The second is the grim hunter, who took down a mammoth single-handedly. He rarely speaks. He is cold, and the tribe falls silent when he looks their way. Who will ensure the survival of the offspring during a raid or a starving winter? Genetics provides a clear answer.
Kindness doesn't save you from a saber-toothed tiger. The ability to kill does. And though today tigers have been replaced by economic crises and corporate warfare, the old brain wiring still demands the presence of a predator nearby. Average people often mistake this for aggression, but aggression is weakness. It is a loss of control.
The true danger that attracts is controlled strength. Imagine a professional fighter in an expensive suit at a social event. He is flawlessly polite. He smiles. He maintains small talk. But everyone in the room knows if hell breaks out, he is the only one walking out unharmed. This hidden competence in violence creates a force field around him. This is the wild truth that modern culture denies, but upon which every real hierarchy in human society is built.
Why do we cling so desperately to the nice guy image? Because it benefits society. Society needs predictable cogs that don't cause trouble. Since childhood, we are taught, be obedient, share your toys, don't fight, and you'll get a cookie. But when we grow up, we discover that the cookies go to those who set the rules, not those who blindly follow them.
Let's break down a psychological technique we call the loop of dark and light. The average man tries to be light all the time. He is always kind, always available, always ready to listen. The strategist understands the value of contrast. He knows that light is only visible in the darkness. He creates distance.
He does not allow himself to be fully consumed. He maintains his autonomy. Many men are terrified of causing negative emotions in a woman. They fear arguing. They fear showing toughness. This is a fatal mistake. A total lack of friction in a relationship leads to a total lack of interest.
A woman's genes are looking for a challenge. They need confirmation that this man is not Play-Doh that can be molded into anything. If you cannot say no to a woman, she knows you won't be able to say no to the world when it starts to crush you, and that means you are an unreliable anchor. This brings us to the teachings of the great philosopher, Friedrich Nietzsche. He wrote about the will to power as the primary driving force of all living things. Look at nature. There is no concept of justice in our human sense. A tree grows upward, choking out other plants to get more sunlight. This isn't evil, it is life. A dangerous man is one who is not afraid of his will to power.
He doesn't apologize for his ambitions. He doesn't ask for permission to take his place in the sun. In a woman's eyes, such a man looks like a future project. He is the one who will go all the way. He is the one whose last name will actually mean something. And the attraction to such a man is nothing less than the instinct of self-preservation of the species.
Genes want to secure themselves in the future, and they choose the most powerful locomotive for this journey. Now, let's discuss the effect of predatory stillness. Look at how successful leaders, or even the movie characters we like, behave. They never fidget. Fidgeting is a sign of low status.
The average person, when nervous, starts talking too much, gesturing actively, trying to fill the space. He looks for approval in the eyes of the person he's talking to. The strategist, however, knows how to own the space through stillness. Imagine a lion. He can lie perfectly still for hours, but no one calls him lazy or weak.
Everyone feels that behind that stillness lies a lightning-fast reaction. When you learn to remain calm in situations where others panic, you automatically rise to the top of the hierarchy. The female psyche is incredibly sensitive to these micro-signals. If you aren't rushing, it means you are confident in your right to be there. And confidence is the most powerful aphrodisiac created by nature.
Now, let's move to the toolkit. How exactly do you broadcast this correct danger without turning into a caricature villain? The first tool is the information diet. Most men dump their entire lives onto a woman in the first 3 days of meeting. They talk about their work problems, their exes, their weekend plans. This kills the mystery. And mystery is what keeps the fire of interest alive. The strategist gives out information in drops. He always leaves room for guesswork. He is like a deep well. You throw a stone into it and never hear the splash. This forces a woman to constantly think about you, trying to crack your code. And when a person spends time thinking about you, they fall in love without even realizing it.
The second tool is emotional armor. Stoics like Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus taught us to control what is inside us and not let external circumstances dictate our state. The average person is emotionally reactive. If they are praised, they shine. If they are hurt, they start a fight or take offense. They are like a puppet whose strings can be pulled by anyone.
A strategist, however, is a fortress. He can evaluate an insult or a compliment with a cold gaze and show no reaction. This is intimidating. It makes people feel that they have no power over you. And for a woman, this looks incredibly attractive. Why? Because if she cannot shake you emotionally, then others won't either.
It means you are that very rock upon which any life storm will break. The third tool is mission priority. For the average man, a woman often becomes the center of the universe. He adjusts his schedule for her, drops his hobbies and friends, and lives by her interests. Biologically, this is an alarm signal.
It means the man has no path, no big goal. And a man without a goal is a man without a future. A dangerous, attractive man always puts his mission, his work, his expansion above comfort in a relationship. This doesn't mean he doesn't love or value the woman. It means he is the captain of a ship that has a course.
A woman wants to be on board a powerful vessel heading for great shores, not on a life raft that just drifts with the current, trying to please every wave. Here we must touch upon the theme of the baggage of betrayal. By the age of 35, almost everyone has faced their trust being used against them. We all carry scars. The average person breaks under the weight of these scars. They become either bitter, overly cautious, or close themselves off from the world entirely.
The strategist uses these scars as armor. He understands that betrayal is part of the human game. He isn't surprised by it, and he doesn't cry over it. He simply accounts for it in his next strategy. This maturity, this taste of ash in the mouth, gives a man a special depth. It's not the naive optimism of a youth who believes all people are good.
It is a conscious choice of strength. A woman at this age is also no longer looking for a fairy tale prince on a white horse. She needs someone who knows what the filth of this world looks like, but knows how to remain clean and strong. She needs a veteran of life, not a recruit. Many people fear the word Machiavellianism. It sounds like something about treachery and lies.
But Niccolò Machiavelli was, above all, a realist. He saw the world as it is, not as we want it to be. He understood that people are largely driven by fear and interest. A dangerous man is one who isn't afraid to look the truth in the eye. He understands the power dynamics in any relationship. He sees manipulations and knows how to neutralize them before they even land. Imagine a relationship like a chess game. An average player plays by instinct, hoping for luck. He makes moves dictated by momentary feelings. The strategist sees the whole board. He understands that every step has consequences. He doesn't play against the woman. He plays the game called life, where the woman is his most valuable ally, provided he can maintain leadership.
Why is the survival instinct genetically stronger than the craving for comfort? Because comfort is stagnation. From a biological perspective, stagnation is a slow death. Life requires movement, overcoming resistance. A dangerous man embodies this movement. He constantly challenges himself and those around him. He doesn't let himself or those nearby stagnate.
The pull toward a dangerous man is a woman's desire to be part of this life energy. It is a desire to go beyond the gray every day. That is why bad boys will always have an advantage over convenient men until humanity turns into biorobots. But we are not biorobots. In our veins flows the blood of ancestors who survived the Ice Age, fought empires, and discovered new continents. In that blood, there is no room for safe and convenient strategies.
Now, let's combine all this into a single philosophy. We call it the way of the Stoic predator. It sounds like a paradox, but that is where the true power lies. Stoicism gives you inner peace, equanimity, and discipline. You become invulnerable to external pressure. The predator inside you gives you ambition, the will to power, and the ability to protect what is yours.
Strength is not in the scream. Strength is in control. The most dangerous person in the room is the one who listens most and speaks least. The one who keeps a cool head when everyone else loses their nerve. The one who is ready to get up and leave at any moment if his standards are not met. This readiness to leave
is the highest form of power.
If you aren't afraid to lose, you cannot be controlled. And someone who cannot be controlled is respected and desired. We have reached the climax of our transformation. Understand this. All the tools we've discussed today are not ways to trick someone. They are ways to change yourself. You cannot just play the role of a dangerous man.
Sooner or later, the mask will fall, and underneath they will find the same frightened boy looking for approval. You must actually become this person. This is a path of long and hard work. It is a path of giving up cheap dopamine pleasures. It is a path of iron discipline. You must harden your body, sharpen your mind, and clean your character of the husks of weakness. You must become someone who doesn't need to prove anything, because the very fact of your presence speaks for you. Return to the thought of responsibility. Being strong is not a privilege. It is a heavy burden. A true leader, a truly dangerous man in a woman's eyes, is the one who takes responsibility for the consequences of his decisions. He is the one who stands between his family and the rest of the world.
And this role of a wise protector, possessing dark power but using it for good, makes you not just attractive, but irreplaceable. We often see villains in movies who possess charisma and power, but why do they always lose? Because their strength has no foundation in Stoic wisdom. They are slaves to their passions, anger, greed, or vanity. Our goal in the Dark Psychology Lab is to teach you how to have the power of a villain, but use it with the wisdom of a philosopher. You can no longer look at the world with your old eyes. You've seen the underside. You've understood that behind every want is a deep biological algorithm. You've learned why women subconsciously look for a threat in a man, because in a world full of real threats, only someone who is a threat themselves can guarantee peace and safety. Reflect on your past.
How many times have you tried to be good, to adjust, to earn love, and what did it lead to? Most likely to disappointment and the feeling of being used. Now you have an alternative. You have protocols for working with your own psyche. Your old version, the one that feared conflict, the one that sought validation in the eyes of others, must go.
Today, we leave it in the shadows. Your new reality begins with accepting your dark side, not to do evil, but to be complete. A man incapable of violence is not good. He is simply harmless. Only someone capable of great destruction, but choosing creation, can be good. This is the highest point of development we strive for. Welcome to the real world.